I really fucking hate Black Frieza. I think Black Frieza perfectly represents everything that I don't like with the Dragon Ball Super, at least Dragon Ball Super's interpretation of Frieza. It's the repetition. Black Frieza to me represents repetition. More specifically, the overuse of Frieza. You guys can go ahead and try to make the claim that Mora was pretty much just a copycat of Cell, and then they just reused Broly in a Broly movie. I don't really care about that. Those all have like their own specific unique takes. The beauty of Dragon Ball, and by virtue Dragon Ball Z, is that there were always a plethora of villains. And they all fundamentally played a different role in this story. They were also just their own unique characters. Cell is not fundamentally the same as Z Broly. Z Broly isn't the same as like 17 and 18. And 17 and 18 were vastly different from Frieza. I think Black Frieza perfectly represents everything that's wrong with modern Dragon Ball. We have grown used to repetition. Cell Max plays the exact same role as Cell did in Dragon Ball Z. And now it seems like Frieza is going to play the exact same role that he did in Dragon Ball Super that he did in Dragon Ball Z. And let's be clear, I'm a comic book fan. You know, villains fucking come back at the end of every week, right? This is nothing new to me. My problem with a villain coming back is when they fit the exact same mold that they did when they first appeared. I think Bleach does this pretty well. When Aizen first appeared, he was the main mastermind behind everything, and when he appears again in a 1000-Year Blood War arc, he's still a villain, but at least he's still a villain within his own parameters. Him helping Ichigo doesn't make him a hero, it just aligns with his current interest. Even in the Tournament of Power, I thought Frieza coming back wasn't a bad thing because it makes sense why he would come back. He exists in Universe 7, so if Universe 7 dies, Frieza dies too. But Frieza coming back in Resurrection F, and even coming back like in Super as Black Frieza, it literally fits the exact same mold of Frieza and Z. And to me, that's super boring to see. There's nothing new that can be done because we've already treaded this water before. The idea that Frieza is now a galactic emperor again?
Frieza did it.
The idea that Frieza realizes that if he works out, he could be stronger than Goku and Vegeta? These are all things that have already happened before, and I can go on and on forever talking about how I think Dragon Ball Super is just the assassination and the repetition of everything that made Dragon Ball Z great, but that in itself would warrant its own video. Also, another thing that Black Frieza represents is like the lazy transformations in Dragon Ball Super. All of Frieza's forms through Frieza 1 through 4 were unique, but when we get to Dragon Ball Super, we just see that Frieza has 2 new recolors. And what's even worse is that he achieved these forms by doing the exact same thing. And before one of you fat fucking nerds say it, yes, I know a lot of Dragon Ball's transformations are just recolors. The difference between a Frieza recolor and like a Saiyan recolor is in the reason why the transformation even happens. For example, sure, Super Saiyan God is just a recolor of a Goku, but that form comes from a group of people working together from a race that generally did not work well with others. This is what made the transformation so rare, is that everybody in the Saiyan race back in the day sought the power after themselves, so they weren't able to transform into a Super Saiyan God. That's what made that form special. Whereas the only difference between Golden Frieza and Black Frieza is that he trained for 10 years longer. That's it. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and keep yapping about shit that you guys should already know if you had any ounce of a fucking brain. This is just my take, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, or I will tickle your feet. See you later. Peace. Love you guys. Mwah.